Should I get rid?
All right. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Drivers, start your engines!
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Remember when I told all my drivers, reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time? Drivers, start your engines!
And gentlemen, start your engine!
And welcome back to another episode of the Green White Checkered Podcast. I am Andrew, joined with Shane this week, as always. We're here to talk a little bit about COTA, how our bets went, which Shane did very well. And, Christopher Bell wins another one, so good start there for that team. We're going to talk about some news. We got a little bit here and there, and we're going to go into some Phoenix talk with some bets and just kind of what we're expecting to see on track. So let's hop into it. Christopher Bell, 2 in a row. You're, over 3.5 wins on the season? Very nice start.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, he could win again this weekend at Phoenix. He's run well there. So, yeah, solid future bet there. I think that one's going to pay out by the end of the season.
Yep, I'm feeling real good about that one. I'm starting to almost wonder if Christopher Bell had a little bit more of a personality if we'd be talking about a possible new face of NASCAR.
Yeah. He's one of those drivers I dismissed for the first year or two. And I was just I don't like this kid. He's not anything. He's just kind of an average driver. And then I started looking at his stats and I was like, damn, okay, he can drive and he's usually up there. It's just as he gets older and a little more experience in the Cup Series, he's really taken off and proven himself to be a winner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So now, as I recall, you also had him as an outright to win the race.
I ended up not making that bet.
Oh, no.
I did say it. I had him top 3, though.
Okay.
I also had William Byron top 3.
There you go. That's that's a solid week. My bets were a little rough this week. Lap 1, first turn, 2 of them take each other out. And it was oh, cool. This is how we're going to start. I had Chase Elliott to win. He ended up being 4th at the end of the race. Getting taken out by Chastain. And then I had Chastain as a top 10. That one hit, which was cool. But it's just so close. McDowell top 10. He finished 11th. Busher top 10. That one hit. I ended up just barely losing money on the week. So I can't complain too much. But yeah, it was not my best week. That's for sure. But
yeah, most of the race, I was almost starting to think, hey, we shouldn't even do any of this research or anything. Just go based on gut feelings, like I said last week with Kyle Busch. And I was feeling really good about that one. That was the only outright winner that I chose. And obviously at the end, he had a little bit of an issue. But he looked real good for most of the race.
Oh, yeah. Kyle Busch and Bell, you mentioned them both last week, and both of them, they were the quickest cars, it seemed like. Reddick at the end, I was kind of hoping he got past Byron, and I think he could have made a run for it, but no, the Bell and Busch thing, A+ on that one. I didn't see Busch being competitive like that, but I did say last week that I thought he should have won in once at COTA, so either way. Also last week, we said, stay away from Connor Zilisch. Boy, was that the right call for the Cup race. Finished dead last, which is rough. But I don't know, man. He'll be in the Cup Series. I think it's going to take Suarez's spot next year, honestly.
Yeah. I think Suarez has got to move past that first round of the playoffs to keep his job.
Yeah. That's how I felt last year, too. I thought he needed to make the top 8, and they re-signed him. I was like, okay, well, he's got 1 year in my mind. If anything, he'll get bumped down to Xfinity Series or something for them. But Zilisch is the next big thing in my mind. So, and we saw that on Saturday. I mean, he starts the race, runs really well, had the pole, I believe, gets a pit penalty at the end of the stage, and comes back and still wins the race. He's fast. And once he gets the oval stuff a little more figured out, it's going to be interesting. I think he's going to be a championship contender for a long.
Oh yeah, but he was second youngest driver to ever start a Cup race behind Logano.
Yeah,
by like 3 months.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The weird thing with Joey Logano, and I don't know how many people actually know this. Maybe it's like widely known, but he was testing Mark Martin's cars when he was like 12 years old.
Was he?
Yeah. I found that out and I was just like, holy shit, man. When this kid gets to Cup, he's going to be amazing. And then he comes to Cup and he was mediocre in the 20. I was like, now, I mean, he's multi-time champion and all that stuff. But yeah, he was 12 years old, racing Mark Martin's car at, practice tracks, basically.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's amazing in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Be that young and just hopping in this. I mean, those were beasts back then. I mean, that was the Twisted Sister type car and stuff like that. But
probably didn't have too many adjustments they had to make between Mark and Joey at 12.
Right. Yeah. Both really small.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also saw something. It's been like not 20 years. Maybe it is 20 years since Mark Martin last won a race.
Wow.
It was today. I just saw it and I'd have to look back. But yeah, a long time. It was something like that. Really long, like 18, 20, something like that. But overall, how did you feel about the COTA race? Just the racing on track?
I personally liked the shorter version of it. I thought it was a little more entertaining.
Yeah, I don't disagree there. I thought taking the hairpin and the really long straightaway out was going to kill it, but it was pretty smooth and everything. I mean, it was kind of nonstop action. It felt like, and you can't complain there. And I thought the tire really held up. You saw guys that would go out and abuse their tires and they'd fall off. You saw Kyle Busch fall off. And it just kept the racing great. And the finish, the last stage, you had those three guys just going at it. I think if they would actually move each other out of the way a little bit or maybe a little more aggression, it would have been like, oh my God, this race was fantastic. But either way, I think it's our best road course in this car so far. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. I'm not a fan of road courses, and I mean, it was like I said, I thought it was entertaining, and this is coming from somebody who, at times, has said they hated road courses.
Yeah, I like road courses to an extent, but I think we have to have a limit in the season of how many we have. COTA is not my favorite track, and I know their lease is up, but I heard they re-signed it, so we're going back to COTA. I was really hoping Road America would get another date, but oh well. Road America is so much fun. Obviously, it's the closest track to me now, I believe. Just barely beats Kansas, but no, we camp all weekend. 4th of July weekend too, so good party. But yeah, not getting a date next year, which, well, at least that's what it's looking like. Disappointing.
I feel like the thing with COTA is the market that they want to reach, with it being in Austin area and everything, and you only having one other track in the whole state. I think that might be part of their want to stay there, possibly.
Yeah. I mean, the road course racing and then having, I guess there's more of an F1 crowd, closer to Mexico you get, which makes sense. So you're trying to draw those fans in. Yeah, I get it. I don't know. You already got another race in Texas. Granted, it lost a race, which it deserved. That track's been awful since the reconfig, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan of COTA, but I will say this race was pretty good, and yeah, maybe it does deserve a few more dates, but yeah, cap the road courses. We got too many, I believe. I'm not a big fan of the Roval. Never have been. I'd much rather see that just be the oval, especially in the championship or the playoffs, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, great race, I thought. Anything that surprised you at all?
I mean, we've already touched on it. I would say I didn't think Zilich was going to come in last.
Yeah.
We definitely didn't like him to win, like the sports books did, but I didn't see him coming in last. But not really. I think the road courses are typically, I'm never surprised to see anyone run where they do.
Yeah.
So nothing really shocked me there.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't Zilich's fault that he finished last. I will say that. It was just one of those things. His teammates spun out, and when trying to save it, goes across and hits. Gets hit. But yeah, I don't know. How do you put Zilich behind Suarez there, though? Did Suarez continue somehow? I don't know. That's a weird one. But yeah, dead last. Qualified well. I'm not saying like down the road, I'm sure he'll be in another road course this year. Not saying don't bet him there. Hopefully his odds are better, but he was second favorite at like plus 650? Awful.
Yeah.
How about SVG? He had a pretty good showing for the first portion of the race.
Yeah, I feel like he didn't have the car that some of the others had, which prevented him from running with the Bells and the Byrons and everybody.
Yeah, he seemed to fall off. The first stage, second stage, he was up there with Busch, Bell, and he just, that third stage, I don't know what happened, kind of fell back, but he had speed at the beginning. Maybe his crew chief just didn't keep up and make the adjustments that were needed. But yeah, other than that, you got really anything else to touch?
Nothing really COTA wise. No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What about the Cindric Dillon incident? Did you see that? Where he right hooked Ty Dillon? He just got a penalty.
That was early, huh?
Yeah, it was early in the race.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Dillon ran him wide out of the last turn, and he kind of just, when he got back on track, dumped him. He just got a penalty. What was it? 50 points and $50,000, but no suspension. Which NASCAR said they were going to suspend people when people did this. So I don't know.
I would imagine Cindric is just fed up at this point in the year. He's really frustrated at how it's gone based on how close it could have been to being really good.
Yeah. Atlanta and Daytona, he was fast and it just didn't show in the results.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's, the penalty's going to hurt, but the suspension, they said this year they're not going to give waivers. So he avoided that. I don't understand why, though, from NASCAR, why you're going to say you're going to suspend people for this, but then don't. I don't know.
Maybe it's a danger thing.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't put him in the wall doing 190 type of thing.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a slippery slope then. Like, where do you change it?
Well, as we've seen, they have no consistency so far.
Yeah.
In anything.
Yeah, it's a NASCAR thing, which I don't know. Just be consistent. Why do we have to keep saying it? same with the track limits. They had problems with that. Apparently, they were better this time. I know a couple guys got it, but not as bad as previous years. So, yeah. Let's see what else. I'm on the wrong show sheet. That makes sense.
How about
Okay.
the Chase Briscoe news?
Yeah. So he just lost his penalty. It's got rescinded, which cool. He just moved up to 14th or 15th in points, somewhere in there. And yeah, nothing. So he's going to keep his crew chief, which we were talking about, is going to really hinder him being in this new team. That's great news for him and that team just all around. So yeah, what was it? Was it 100 points or 50 points?
I think it was 100 because he was going into Atlanta, minus 70 something, right?
Yeah, 100 points, 10 playoff points, and $100,000 fine. All that gone. So apparently they said when he installed the spoiler, that's what caused the, holes in the spoiler or something like that. So dodged a bullet, if you ask me.
Big time.
Other than that, I got no real news besides for like this COTA thing. Like I said, got re-upped by NASCAR. Ready to hop into Phoenix?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Well, before we do that, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, give us a thumbs up on YouTube, join our Discord. We do race chats. We're going to eventually do some view parties, watch parties. So that'll be fun. Links at the bottom of the YouTube and the Spotify. So yeah, let's hop into Phoenix. Let's see. Obviously, we know Fords in the championship race are fast. We saw Toyota dominate in the spring race last year. What are you kind of looking for here? It's just our first actual oval race.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm basing it more off of the championship race than I am the spring race. And I mean, I like Fords here, but they're not favored by any means. But yeah, I'm a fan of Fords at Phoenix this weekend. I think they've been fast all year, and I think that'll continue here.
Yeah, it's obviously Penske I just did stuff. Penske as a whole is always quick at Phoenix, and I think if you bet on one of them, just period, you're going to be okay. I mean, Cindric, maybe not, maybe a top 10. But Blaney, Logano, you can't miss there in my mind. Christopher Bell is one that's kind of got my eye, and he's a favorite to win this week at plus 500. I don't love that, but I don't know. I'm having a problem as a whole just picking this week. Like I look at it, and you just had the dominance of Toyota, dominance of Ford. Where do I go? And it's like, then I was like, oh man, Chevy's also been quick with like Byron, Chase Elliott's been up there. Maybe I go that route. I'm just all over the place in my head. And it's like, I just have like these matchups that I've made. I'm like, I'm going to pick one of these guys. Like I have Elliott at plus 1,000 and Reddick at plus 1,200. In my head, I'm going back and forth. It's like, I really like Reddick. He was fast. And he was really fast in the spring race. Something happened. He fell to 10th. And then the fall race, I didn't think he was as quick. And he finished 6th, I think it was what it was. So, I don't know. Back and forth in my head there. Chase Elliott, same thing. Fast, doesn't have the results to show for it. And then you go with like the favorites, right? Byron and Blaney. Blaney is plus 600. Byron's plus 800. I like them both. Blaney's got the highest average finish at, or I guess the lowest average finish. Was it 2.8? Yeah. And then Byron's second at 8.3. So do you chase the odds at, just a little bit higher on Byron?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, you're talking about two of the most consistent top 10 finishers in NASCAR there. I feel like against most people, you feel good about picking either one of them, but against the other, that one's tough. I probably would lay off of that. I'm feeling Ford, so if you're gonna make a pick, I would go Blaney.
Okay. Yeah, that was my original thought. It was like I was on Blaney, and I was just kind of like looking over the stats and stuff like that. I was like, man, just the extra, plus 200 on Byron. It's like, makes me start to lean that way. But my original lean was Blaney. It's crazy. Never won. Average finish 2.8. That's rough. He's always right there, but never gets it. Yeah, it's just. So you're on Fords. Who are you looking at as your favorite outright?
I feel like it's time for Logano to do something this year. Make some noise at plus 850. I don't hate it. That's probably where I'm leaning.
Logano, 12th in points right now. He's got average finish of 12.2, but 2 wins in this next gen era. Can't go wrong there. 1 DNF. So I don't hate it. Plus 850. I'd almost put that with my Blaney, Byron, and Logano, right? They're easily, in my mind, 3 of the best at this track. So yeah, Logano, I like it. Definitely needs to show up for a points reason. Blaney's second in points, which kind of shocked me, but I guess if you don't consider Christopher Bell as a winner. How is Christopher Bell not top? I saw he was 4th. I was like, what the fuck? That's just weird. He's got 2 wins. 4th place.
Yeah. It seems like in this era of points, Ryan Blaney is always up there.
Yep.
It feels like something's going wrong. Like he could finish 30th 3 times to start the year, and he's going to be somehow in the top 10.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't know.
Who else you see having a good day? How about just so you said you liked Logano for your outright. You got a top 3, top 5, anything in that area?
I do like Brad Keselowski.
Okay.
I'm seeing him at plus 450 for top 5, plus 850 for top 3. He finished 4th in the spring last year and 15th in the fall. We'll see. I think that looking at it, it's crazy to me that you're getting him higher. Like Josh Berry has better odds to win than Brad Keselowski. That's wild to me.
Yeah. So I will say Barry, before I looked at anything for the week, I was like, damn, he's basically in a Penske ride. He's a short track guy. This track kind of races like one. I was like, he could be sneaky, but his odds fall off so quick. Like, okay, he's plus 3,000 to win. I don't really like him to win. I like him to finish maybe 5th, like small amount, but top 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're plus 350 for a top 5, where you could get Brad Keselowski plus 450. And then you go to top 10 and it's like even money, plus 120. I don't love that. Can he do it? Sure. But he's got to prove it to me first. And I guess he does have 1/10th place finish here. So,
well, last year, 24th and 26th, in his 2 races, and then Harrison Burton ran 16th in the fall and in the spring. which he's got his ride. So
Yeah. Where is he on my list? Is he not
27th in the spring, and what did I say in the fall? 16th in the fall. So I'm just like, I don't hate Josh. Like, this is not don't pick Josh Berry rant here, but I see no way that he should be favored over Brad Keselowski.
Yeah. Yeah, and Brad's got the better finish, obviously, between them all. The 16th place for Harrison Burton in the fall is kind of a eye-opener to me, because I think Josh Berry is far better than Harrison Burton ever will be. And I also think he's got a little bit more Penske backing now. Maybe it's just because we were at super speedways and that. I could see Berry squeezing in the top 10.
Yeah, and it also seems like the Penske drivers work better with him as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The rumors around SHR is that none of the drivers worked with each other at all, and it was just a shit show, which shows in most of their standings last year. And results, I should say. Berry did awful, but the one that actually caught my eye, and I think I'm probably going to bet this, and I kind of really like it, is Gragson top 10 plus 350. He's finished 12th. Well, finished 12th both the last two races here. So you're telling me that he went from an SHR car with no real team to work with him, because that was just dysfunctional last year. And now he's got a front row car and teammates that are working with him. Front row's been getting better and better every year since McDowell's 500 win. He can do it. And I 100% am on board with Gragson top 10. So liking that. Let's see what else you got. So you had Brad Keselowski. You said top 5 and top 3.
Yeah, I like him. I mean, I like him top 10 as well. Just do it all plus 140. Okay. I also like Bubba Wallace. You're doubling your return there at plus 200. He had a top 10 finish in the fall and finished 16th in the spring.
Yeah, he was really, I don't get what happened to the fall race. I'd have to go back and watch it, because he was faster than Reddick and he finished right behind him. Maybe it's just a little game with points or something. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely looked at Bubba at plus 200. I don't hate it. And like I said, he was quick. He was quick in both of them. So yeah, 10th, well, hell, 14th, 10th, 16th, 7th. Top 10 is right there. So plus 200, don't hate it. Kind of like it. I'll throw out one. So you're really big on Fords. I got Chris Buescher top 10 at even money. He's had some really good results the last couple of times, and he's also he's been fast every race this year. Where is he at? Chris Buescher has an average finish of 10.3. So, and the next gen era, 10th, 21st, 15th, 5th, 2nd, and 9th. So top 10, I'm definitely leaning towards. He's my long shot to win at plus 25. Oh, plus 2,200 now. And then top 5, I'm thinking about it plus 275. I'm not on board yet. I'm thinking I might skip this one and just do his outright and then top 10. He's been my moneymaker this year with top 10s. So I'm liking Chris Buescher. And I'll throw another one out there. He was definitely possibly one of my long shot outrights here. Ty Gibbs plus 2,500. I'm really liking his top 10 at plus 110, just a little above even money. He's fast, and I think he can pull this off pretty easy as far as the top 10. He led a bunch of laps in the spring race last year. The fall race, we didn't really get to see him. He was 3 wide on the start, tail tapped the wall, broke a toe link, nailed the I don't know what you want to call it, dog leg wall, and was out. So I'm looking for a lot from Ty Gibbs here. And be careful if you do bet the outright. I have been burned so many times by Ty Gibbs. One of these times, though, he's going to put it together. And at plus 2,500 at a track he's been fast, shown speed. I like it.
Yeah. I got one that I'm curious about. I'm not necessarily saying I like it, but Daniel Suarez plus 275 top 10.
Yeah. I don't trust Suarez at all. I said it for the Atlanta show. I don't see it. He's run really well here, and it was the same thing. Atlanta, he'd run really well there. And he did. He ran really well again at Atlanta. So where's he finished the last 2 races?
10th and 13th and 10th.
Okay. And he's had a 9th also and 11th. So he floats around that 10th place finish, 10th to 15th. Okay. What's the odds on that?
Plus 275.
I don't hate that. I don't. My only thing is I kind of look at the guys that have improved teams this year, where you have your Josh Berry in a better car, your Noah Gragson in a better car, your Ryan Preece in a better car. Preece is a short track guy. I wouldn't bet money on him this week, but I could see him squeeze into the top 10. Eric Jones, I don't see him at all getting in there, but he's in a better car. There's just so many people that are in better cars now, and I just think Suarez is going to fall a couple positions as just an average, if that makes sense. Nothing against Suarez. I just think there's a bump in other drivers.
Yeah, I don't like Ben Suarez. I don't trust him either. I was just curious what you thought because of last year's results.
Yeah, I saw him in there, and I was like, man, I can't do it. It's just like I like the Bubba Wallace. Bowman was another one. I was like, that one's interesting to me. I kind of expect Bowman he needs to prove himself this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's had speed here. I wouldn't say he's competitive, but like his odds aren't awful. McDowell's got like really good odds in my opinion. He's behind SVG for a top 10. Like, come on. But
I got a really interesting one for you.
Okay, shoot. What do you got?
Riley Herbst plus 700. In his last 8 races at Phoenix in the Xfinity Series, he has 6 top 10s, 5 of which were top 5s, and 1 was a win.
Okay.
And you seem to be high on Toyotas this week. So
I'm so mixed. Like I'm having such a hard time this week. It is. But okay, Riley Herbst. Like I didn't look at his Xfinity stats, and he kind of just I forgot about him, honestly. Like,
yeah, he won the last race last year there, and
yeah,
what he led 167 laps, and the 2 races the year before he finished 4th both times. So I mean, he's had success at Phoenix, and 11 could be fast.
I might,
and at plus 700,
I might throw like a quarter unit on that and just like a little dabble in it. You can't go wrong with those odds, right? That's really good for a guy that has shown the Xfinity that he can run really well. Yeah, I kind of like that. I didn't even think about it, but you just mentioned the Xfinity stuff. Didn't even consider it in my head. Okay. We don't have any like special drivers this week, right? There's nobody hopping in a ride.
We do.
We do?
We do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's no.
You're
We
not,
don't even need it.
You're not leaning that way?
No. Catherine Legg outright. What is it? 100,000? Oh, it is. No, I'm not going in that. Is that a Rick Ware car?
Yep.
Oh, Live Fast.
No.
Even
Live
better.
Fast,
It's
yeah.
a BJ McLeod car.
Yep.
If they had Catherine Legg plus or minus 10 laps down, I would take the over.
Oh.
So, ooh, man, hold on a second. John Hunter at plus 1,400. Like, I don't love it, but at the odds,
yeah.
it's a.
What he finished 30th and 25th last year. So
that's another team, though, in my mind that has jumped significantly. Like, we know this was a Chevy team last year that had no backing at all from Chevy. Like, they were the ugly duckling, got kicked to the curb, and now they're in Toyota. And we saw, first two races, John Hunter's up there. I think he had 2 top 5s. I don't know. At plus 1,400, it's just kind of like one of those things. Like, he could get lucky. I definitely bet the Herbst over that, though. Okay, How about this? Austin Dillon's the same as Herbst, and he's got a 13th, 16th, 12th finish.
It's going to be interesting here. I think you're going to really be able to tell about Richard Childress at this track because Busch has had speed everywhere. I mean, Austin Dillon always does good on super speedways, or usually does. But this is going to be a big tell. I think this race is so important for the whole future of this team because we're going to see if Busch continues to have speed, and I think if he doesn't, they're going to lose him at the end of the year. But yeah, I mean, I don't hate that bet either. I mean, at the odds.
Yeah, it's not a very appealing bet. It's just, this is our first actual oval race of the season in my mind. Like, this is it. We're going to see who's fast, who's not. And it kind of sets the tone for, I don't know, next probably 5-6 weeks until like Talladega. So this is going to be the eye opener, and there's going to be a lot to take in my mind. Like, we saw last year, Chevy, Toyota came out really strong. When I was at Kansas, I asked Chase Briscoe, I was like, Ford's been struggling. Is it something you guys got to figure out? Is it something you guys are going to, just struggle with all season? He's like, pretty much said that this was the week that we were putting everything together, and Ford was kind of fast at Kansas, but Ford struggled at the beginning of last year. So are they going to keep up with what they finished with in the spring, or in the fall? I mean, the championship race? They could. I don't know. I'm so just up in the air on this. There's so many guys too for like the top 10. It's like, yeah, I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, do you just throw in one of those long shots at plus 700? Mike Gregson at plus 350. I really like. Yeah, like I said, right now, my official bets that I have in is Ty Gibbs, Buescher, and Gregson top 10. So
if you go to the group matchups, you're really high on Buescher this week. He's in the Group C with Chase Briscoe, Ross Chastain, Kyle Busch, and obviously himself. And he's tied with Busch at plus 350 for the lowest odds. So do you like that?
I very much considered it. You're going to hear a lot of people this week pushing Briscoe as a favorite. And I think it's deserving. He's been quick in SHR equipment here. He's got to win. It was the first next gen race here. I mean, he's got his crew chief and all that. I don't hate Briscoe this week. I don't hate Busher at plus 350 in that group either. But we've seen Chastain win, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll stick with my top 10 on Busher and then my long shot on him too. Any of the other groups you like? Group A is stacked.
Yeah, Group A is ridiculous. I mean, Group D, I'm not as high on Gibbs as you are. And I like Keselowski and Wallace better than the other two. And they're both
I like that Bubba.
Yeah, plus 400.
Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't take Gibbs here at plus 190, but Bubba at plus 400. I do like that as far as odds go. I mean, would you take that or would you take his top 10 at plus 200? Like, I feel like his plus 400 is a better bet.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on, are you high on Barry? Are you high on Gibbs? I mean, I don't know.
I think it's basically those first three guys are guys that kind of have to prove it this week. Like, does Brad still have speed? Ty Gibbs, can he finish well? Can he put everything together and possibly win a race? Who was the other one? I turned off of it.
Barry.
Barry, we don't know what it is in that 21. Could he be fast on these shorter tracks? Obviously, super speedways, it's a Penske ride. Yeah, he is, but we don't know about here. Penske's faster. So, like I said, before I even looked at anything, I liked Barry. I don't like his odds. That group to me is difficult. I do like the Bubba though at plus 400. Does he have the highest finish of all those guys? No. Gibbs has a third, and Brad has Brad got a fourth. Okay. Man, they're all right there though. I don't hate it. How about head-to-heads? Take a look at these. We got Hamlin versus Busch. Busch at plus 170 or 125.
I like Hamlin here. I mean, I'm not betting it, but I do like Hamlin here.
Yeah, minus 170, not worth it to me. Blaney minus 140 versus Logano plus 105. It's a toss-up to me, so I think I'd go Logano just for the odds, but it's another one I'm not going to bet. It's a toss-up.
Yeah.
Elliott versus Chastain.
I like Elliott here. I'm not betting it, but this is probably the one I feel the best about as far as the four matchups we got.
Yeah, I agree. I probably would bet this. I like Elliott here. And then the last one, Christopher Bell minus 130 over Larson minus 105.
Just like you called it last week, we're going to get this matchup a lot this year.
Almost every week. Like, I guarantee you it's going to be next week, or it's going to be like Bell and Blaney or something.
Bell and Byron.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Bell's going to have the hardest head-to-heads, I think, this year, just because he's going to show up a lot. But yeah, we're going to see that. I'm going to stay off of it. I think Larson could do it still. I think he could win this race. I got to see what happens this weekend. Like, I'm going to be definitely interested.
Yeah, it's about time Kyle Larson, shows. Well, I mean, he did get he got second or third at Atlanta, but you still just haven't felt like
that dominance.
I think it's about due.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but it's like with Vegas coming up, that team's been fast. Chevy's have been fast there. Homestead, another track. It was the Larson line. Now it's definitely the Reddick line. It's just there's a couple good races coming up for him. Martinsville. You got I don't know, Chase Elliott and Byron in my eyes there. I think it's possible for Larson this week. I just don't love it. You got any top manufacturer bets?
I mean, I don't feel great about any of them. I like Ford, or you mean top car?
Yeah, top finisher and
Okay.
the manufacturer. My bad. No,
nothing
I was looking
out.
at the Toyotas. I mean, you got Reddick plus 450, Briscoe plus 450. Those aren't awful. Then you got, Bubba Wallace plus 1800. It's I don't know. There's
You
your
believe in
Herbst
Riley
plus
Herbst?
8,000.
Yeah.
You just hope like Bell spins out and takes out Hamlin, Reddick, and Briscoe or something like that. Man, plus 8,000. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I guess I don't hate Chase Elliott plus 330. Put a little bit on it.
Yeah. The one that kind of caught me with Chevy was Bowman at plus 2,000. But again, this week, there's a lot of things I want to bet, but I'm going to take it pretty easy, I think. I'll get my final card out probably tomorrow. I'm guessing we'll see a couple more lines right before qualifying. So make sure to follow our Twitter on that. We're going to start posting those up. I meant to last week, but had some stuff come up. So we're going to have some graphics and all that coming. It's going to be cool. So follow Twitter, follow Discord, everything we post in there too. The Briscoe plus 450 for top Toyota is, I think, on my mind. I don't know. I'm so just all over the place in my mind. It's Reddick. Could be it. Bell. It's such a hard week. Next week it's going to be so much easier when we go to Vegas.
It's a telling week too.
It is.
So it's still to the point with the way the schedule worked out that we don't know anything yet.
Mm-hmm. 2 super speedways and a road course. It's like, cool. We're 3 races in and know nothing.
Yeah. I'm high on Brad Keselowski. I don't hate the plus 1100 there for top Ford. And then you were high on Gregson plus 3000.
I like the Buescher plus 700 more. I really do. Again, he's had some really good runs. 5th, 2nd, 9th in the last 3 races. Maybe I like that. Maybe I'll add that. I don't know. I'm going to write it down just so I do remember it. But I am really high on Buescher this week. I've said it a couple times this season already. And he's proven to be a moneymaker for me. It's the one that's hit pretty much every race. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's speed. He's got the results. Yeah. And that's your Ford.
Yeah. He's almost starting to, well, we'll see how this season goes, but doing the opposite years of Logano. Obviously not as high, but
yeah,
every other year, Buescher and Logano switch places.
Maybe that's what'll be on my card this week is Buescher long shot to win, Buescher top 10, and Buescher top Ford. But yeah, I'm thinking about that. I like that. We'll see. Like I said, I'll finish it probably tonight, maybe tomorrow morning. Okay. Anything else you're looking at, or is that it for this week?
I think that I am pretty much done with anything for Phoenix.
Okay. What is your favorite bet before we sign off?
My favorite bet, I'm going to go with Bubba Wallace top 10.
Okay. Mine's going to be Gregson plus 350 top 10. So Yeah, on that note, we're going to sign off this week. We'll be back next week. Some Vegas bets and wrap it up. See ya.
This has been a For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network production. For more great content, subscribe to For Frequency's Sake on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.